The PlayStation 1, also called the PS1, was Sony's very first gaming console. It released in 1994 in Japan and 1995 worldwide. At that time, most consoles still used cartridges, but Sony used CDs instead. This made games cheaper to produce and able to hold more content, like full-motion videos and higher quality music. The PS1 quickly became popular, especially with 3D games. Developers loved it because Sony made it easier to create games compared to rivals. Some of the most iconic titles ever came out on this system, including Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII, Gran Turismo, Tekken, and Metal Gear Solid. The controller was simple at first, but later Sony introduced the DualShock controller with analog sticks and vibration, setting the standard for future PlayStation controllers. The PS1 sold over 100 million units, which was massive for a first-time console maker. It proved Sony could compete against giants like Nintendo and Sega. The PlayStation 1 also started many legendary gaming franchises that still exist today. Its mix of affordability, easy development, and a huge library of games made it one of the most important consoles in history. It didn't just succeed, it completely changed the gaming industry. The PlayStation 2, or PS2, launched in 2000 and became the best-selling console of all time. Its biggest advantage was that it doubled as a DVD player, at a time when DVD players were still expensive. Many families bought it just for that, and then discovered the gaming side. The PS2 was backward compatible with PS1 games, so players could keep their old library. This gave it a huge head start compared to competitors. The system's hardware was strong for its time, supporting better 3D graphics and larger worlds. Developers pushed it to the limit with games like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, and Final Fantasy X. Sports titles and party games like Pro Evolution Soccer and SingStar also made it a household favorite. Sony sold more than 155 million PS2 units worldwide, a record that no console has beaten yet. It also had one of the largest game libraries ever, with over 3,800 titles released. The PS2 defined an entire generation of gaming and showed Sony's dominance in the industry. It wasn't just a console. It became a cultural icon, remembered for its massive game library and incredible popularity. The PlayStation 3 launched in 2006 and marked a big step forward with high-definition graphics and Blu-ray discs. It was the most powerful console of its time on paper, but it was very expensive at launch and hard for developers to make games on. Early on, the PS3 struggled against the Xbox 360 and Nintendo Wii, but over time, it recovered thanks to Sony's strong exclusives and a growing library of games. Classics like The Last of Us, Uncharted, Killzone 2, and Little Big Planet helped define the system. The PS3 also introduced the PlayStation Network, bringing online multiplayer, digital downloads, and even media apps to Sony's consoles. Another key feature was the Blu-ray drive, which not only gave games more storage but also helped Blu-ray win against HD DVD in the movie market. The console also offered multimedia functions, turning it into a full entertainment device. By the end of its life, the PS3 sold around 87 million units worldwide. Although it didn't beat the PS2, it proved that Sony could recover from a rocky start. Many of its games are still considered masterpieces today, and the PS3 generation helped shape the modern PlayStation ecosystem. The PlayStation 4 launched in 2013 and was a direct response to the competition. Sony focused on making the PS4 developer-friendly and player-focused, with strong hardware and easy game creation tools. This made it very attractive to developers, and its game library grew quickly. The PS4 also emphasized sharing and streaming. With the Share button, players could capture screenshots, record gameplay, and broadcast online. This matched the rise of Twitch and YouTube gaming. In terms of games, the PS4 had a legendary lineup. Exclusives like God of War, 2018, Marvel's Spider-Man, Bloodborne, and Horizon Zero Dawn made the system stand out. Third-party titles like The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 also shined on the system. The PS4 was sleek, powerful, and affordable compared to its main competitor, the Xbox One, which struggled with a confusing launch. This gave Sony a huge advantage. By the end of its run, The PS4 sold over 117 million units, making it one of the most successful consoles in history. It was widely loved for its balance of power, price, and exclusive games. For many gamers, the PS4 defined the modern era of gaming. The PlayStation 5 released in 2020 and represented a new leap in gaming technology. Its custom SSD allowed games to load almost instantly, changing how developers design worlds. The DualSense controller also introduced advanced haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, giving players a new level of immersion. The PS5 launched during the COVID-19 pandemic, which made it hard to find due to supply shortages. Even so, demand was huge. Graphically, the PS5 supports ray tracing, 4K gaming, and higher frame rates, making games look and feel smoother than ever. Early hits included Demon's Souls Remake, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, and Spider-Man: Miles Morales. More recent titles like Spider-Man 2 continue to push the console forward. The PS5 also supports most PS4 games through backward compatibility, letting players carry over their libraries. Its design is larger and more futuristic, standing out compared to earlier systems. By 2023, the PS5 had already sold over 50 million units, and sales continue to climb as supply improves. It's clear Sony is keeping its strong position in the gaming industry. The PS5 isn't just powerful, it's shaping the future of how games are played, shared, and experienced.